Hello.
What's poppin'?
The the podcast is about to pop off, as the children say.
Oh shit.
Send this rundown real quick.
Hanging out. Oh, you put the thingy up? Oh yeah.
Hanging
Oh,
out,
you're already streaming. Oh, they can hear our
streaming and
voices.
everything. They can hear what we're saying. Yeah.
Oh shit. Well, I'm gonna make this event. Oh, I can't create an event that's already happening.
Oh, weird.
Fucking love.
Okay, we are waiting for Mike to get a beer.
The start time shall be in the future.
Yeah, the future is now.
Don't worry, I just create the event and start it. Sorry, man. There we go. So how'd you get Discord? Do we have forum channels already? No, we don't.
All right, so everyone, I need everyone to turn down.
Where's Mike?
He went to go get a beer. All right, so everyone,
Yeah, burn the shit out of my hand like an idiot.
Damn, dude.
Yeah. I burned the tip of my other fingers too, which is stupid. Because I can't play video games.
Chinese Ninja Warrior.
What is a good one-held video game you can one hand?
How are the Browns doing? Let's see what the Browns are up to in their game against.
Probably
the
embarrassing
Steelers.
themselves.
I mean, probably, but they're playing. It's tied
The
to Steelers.
Browns?
Steelers aren't any good anymore.
That's a name for a team.
Yes, it is.
But you've never heard of the Cleveland Browns? I guess why would you? To me, it's like
Absolutely
it's
not, Mike
It's
Minotti.
so important. Just in my here, like you don't understand how much people care about the Cleveland Browns here.
What sport do they
It's
practice?
it's our NFL team.
Okay.
It's our NFL team. And like even though the Browns have been terrible forever, the area is still like a giant football town. People fucking love football here. The point I almost kind of find like I like football too. People here really
That's weird.
football.
You saying that is weird to me because we don't care about results in our in soccer. Like I was born a fan of Boca Juniors, and it doesn't matter how bad, if they ever do bad, I will never stop it.
Well, it depends.
Like kids don't become like fans of their team because they're like winning. It's like a family thing. Like from my grandpa.
Yeah, I mean that's what happens here. It's all regional here too, but still, like it's not. I imagine it's not quite as binding. But I mean, if the team sucks, the people generally will go less. Whereas the Browns will pretty much always have a full stadium, even though they've been mostly terrible for a while. They had a couple good years, and those even seem to be passing us by. By good years, it's like we had winning records. We had a shitty playoff appearance.
Turn on your camera, Mike. The Cleveland Browns are named after Paul Brown, their first coach. Everybody,
Yes.
So it's
Not named after poop.
Not named after fecal matter.
I thought it was like a bear, like a brown bear or something like that.
No, that makes more sense.
Interesting thought, but not quite.
We have two mascots. One's a dog, the other's like an elf. The elf's actually making a comeback. The elf's getting popular
he's on there right now.
He's on the field. Yeah, I think the elf's back, which I kind of approve of. I like that little guy. Not named after what Penny did. No fire hair. No.
Yeah. Just drop boiling water on your hand. It's not good.
I mean, me and Jeff both live. Jeff even closer to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Actually, it's like right in between me and Jeff. Honestly, just about.
It's like your conversion point if something happens.
In fact, when I saw Journey in concert this summer, they played at the Hall of Fame. Like they have like a field there for some games.
She said, "Oh, come on, Mike."
What?
She said,
what?
"Anyone you want it." That's
I was like, what? I was like, why are you stuttering?
Mike.
Well, look,
oh my god!
You had to sing. You had to sing it to actual notes. You just were singing.
No,
you were speak singing.
She said, "Anyone you want it."
I know, you could have kept saying "she said" like that a million times. I was not going to pick up on what you were throwing there.
Let's see. I think we're about ready to start. Your camera's not turning on for me. I probably just got to close it.
Oh, you know why? Because no. It's because I still have Stream Elements open because I was streaming.
Stream Elements. Stream.
Idiot. Streamlabs. What the fuck ever it's called.
Streamlabs.
Let me tweet.
Slobs.
I know Journey because of the game Journey.
No.
I already told this story before. I was searching for Journey in YouTube, and Journey the band came out.
No.
Journey the band's been around a long time.
I know. And still, I know Journey because of Journey the video game.
Oh, I see. I thought you said when it came. You know, I was typing while you said that. I misheard you.
Okay, I am this volume. Mike, speak.
Speak, Mike. Yeah, hey, this is Mike Minotti, and this is how I talk sometimes.
And this is how I talk, and then that looks pretty close. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get the audio checked. That's there. Is there.
Oh, Chinese Ninja Warrior, with your heart so cold. I had to open up the rundown. Sub-Zero. Oh, your life is a mystery. I heard it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hear you, Jeff.
Okay. Well, then I think we're ready to start for the most part.
Don't stop believing.
Hold on to it.
That feeling.
All right. I think we're good. You ready, Mike?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you tweet?
No. I mean,
hit that like button.
You know, it's not. You don't have to tweet, Jeff. You only have 100,000 followers. We shouldn't let them know.
Yeah. What would you tweet?
Yeah. See, Ivario1's only here because of my tweet. I'm a tweet master. Someday love will. That's probably my favorite one, actually. She is separate ways. Hit like and subscribe and give a 5 Thank you, hey Xbox Sarah, thank you. Yes, guys, if you're watching, please hit the thumbs up button. Appreciate it. Send super chats. We will get to those. It'll be a fun time. The Nick Cage movie was very bad. I only caught the last like 10 minutes of it. It was awful.
Really bad.
Super titles only on Journey lyrics forums, please.
Oh, man, I wish Kevin Nash watched Game S.
Oh, I don't even want to talk about Outcast because I get so angry. I might just start speaking Spanish.
We can't have that.
No.
That shit is. We got so bamboozled by that trailer. I saw that trailer like, oh shit, let's fucking go.
Tim, I'm ashamed to say I went to the restaurant next door the other day. I hope you don't judge me. I went to Mission Barbecue. I was in a barbecue mood. I'm sorry.
Wow.
It was good. They got my order wrong, but like it was in a good way because they gave me French fries instead of the healthier side I asked for. So I gotta eat them now.
Did they yell at you about Wind Waker when they did it? And they're like, "This, I got your order wrong because you got Wind Waker wrong."
No, in fact, the nice lady offered me a free sample of the new shrimp thing that they had there, which was actually pretty good. Although last time I was there, I was wearing a wrestling shirt, and like the one guy working there was talking to me about wrestling a little too much. Like, all right, let me eat.
Yeah, that's always fun. All right, I am ready. You ready? I'm going to count us in, Mike.
I'm ready.
Let's go.
5, 4, 3. the internet. You're busy. Let's do this. Welcome to the Game Mess Decides podcast. This is the podcast where we decide everything about the world of games so you don't have to think for yourself. I'm your host, Jeff Grubb. With me is
Mike Minotti.
In today's episode, we have news and games and so much more. But Mike, first, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. It's funny, like, on the first day of fall is actually the first day. It also feels like fall. It
Yes.
cooled down a lot just today.
It was 80. It was like 86, 87 here yesterday. So it's like
Right.
It was really steaming hot. And then like today, like 50s.
Yeah. So, you know, it was pretty nice. Like, oh, first time I actually like put on like a sweater.
Yeah, me too.
Was enjoying that cooler weather. I do like the fall a lot. I even like it getting darker, Jeff. I'm a creature of the night. Whoa! Look at that Sting sweater. That's cool.
We got a big face on the back. I'll show the.
Oh, that's good stuff.
There you go, everybody. Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
I agree. I like the nighttime too. Listen, I get that people get that seasonal depression and all that jazz. So still try to get there and get some sun for sure. But I don't know. I like it being dark. I do. I can't help it.
You just go outside when it's dark and have fun that way. That's good too. The moon has its own energy. They make rocks to collect it, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
gotta absorb it and I think you put them in your butt.
I think I said this before, but like me and my friend's favorite thing to do for a bit was like look at the user reviews for like not moon rocks from the moon, but rocks meant to absorb moon energy. Because you know, of course, it's not real. So, but like their user reviews are great because it's just whatever people think happened. So it's like 1 out of 5 stars did not absorb any moon energy at all, and then the next one's 5 out of 5 absorbed lots of moon energy. It's hilarious.
The difference between an optimist and a pessimist. I like it.
Yep.
I don't have any moon rocks, Mike, so I suppose maybe you can give me some recommendations later if I really need to get into that world.
I got some moon rocks for you. I'll make them myself. I'll sell them to you at a discount, only $200 a rock. It'll be great. They're going to absorb so much moon energy, and then I'll tell you where you got to put them.
All right, fair enough. Wonderful. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. You get more from Mike and me by joining the Discord at GameMess.net. If you want to ask us a question, you could drop a super chat during the show on YouTube. Thank you to Carlos Ayin, who is Insane in the Rain Music on YouTube, for the use of our theme songs. We are on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and wherever pods are caught. Give us a good rating. It helps people find the show. And, hit that thumbs up button since we're live here on YouTube. That also really helps people find the show. Thank you to our mods. And you could support us by going to patreon.com/GameMess. That will get you to the secret channels in the Discord. It'll also get you access to our monthly Q&A, our Jeopardy game, which is coming up here pretty soon. Oh, man, I haven't talked to Sean about that, actually. I'm sure he's going to have questions about that. We'll get that figured out. But you'll get to watch that live and get to watch the Q&A live, all that stuff. Also, if you hit the join button here on YouTube, you can also get all those benefits, or get my Twitch. If you subscribe on Twitch, use that Prime sub over on twitch.tv/JeffGrubb. That'll get you all the benefits as well. All right, let's see here. Mike, we got some news topics I wanted to talk about. Some stuff happened in the last week. A lot happened in the last week, but there's just a handful I think really worthy talking about, and then I'm sure we'll get some questions from the chat and from our Discord, and we'll get to those soon. Let's start with the Rockstar hack. We are, getting a few days to detach from this, so we don't have to go over the whole thing. Mostly, though, we saw quite a bit of this game due to a major leak that had like 50 videos, and then the Rockstar confirmed it happened. They said that this won't affect development, and then the person who is responsible for it seems like they might be the subject of a major manhunt across multiple federal agencies, as well as Uber, which claims that this might be the same hacker that got them. And that person was trying to sell other data and make a deal with Rockstar, or they threatened to basically sell other data. It's a wild story. I'm also at a point where I'm like almost over it. I've almost forgot that it even happened, because it doesn't actually seem to be that substantial in terms of the effect that it's going to have on anything.
You're right. Like when it happens, it's such this weird thing. Like, whoa, I could just see a lot of footage of Grand Theft Auto 6. And like, we don't know anything about that game, except they did announce they were making one, and they announced it in a tweet, but it hasn't been unveiled. So it felt very naughty, right? Mm-hmm. It's like looking at your Christmas presents in the closet before they're under the tree. But a lot of people are kind of freaking out, like, this is what is this going to be? My heart goes out to. It's like, all right, well, what are the impacts of this going to be? Really, maybe not too much. What the way the story is going to continue is this manhunt, and I guess like Jeff, this person can't possibly be living in the U.S., can they? Because that would be pretty bold, right?
Probably
would
not.
Would it matter?
I think. I think it probably would matter a little bit. I mean, they're probably not living in the U.S. I mean, chances are, and the brazenness of the hack makes me think that they probably are somewhere else. And but I don't know. I mean, the way that they said they got in was probably through like, a phishing scam or some other social engineering to get into a Slack. But then it's like once they're in that Slack, did they have access to everything? And they were able to get like codes to like code repositories and was able to get source code or whatever? Or is it just a handful of videos from years and years ago that never got cleared out of the cache or whatever? There's a lot of aspects to the fallout of the story that we're still not privy to, and who knows if we ever will be. But it just seems like it was a big deal in the moment, like you said. And as we get a couple more days away from it, it just feels like, okay, the team's going to get back to work. And the next time we're going to hear about this game, it might be through a leak. It might just be officially through the studio. Either way, when it comes out, it's going to be the game it was always going to be. And it's going to do the numbers it was always going to do. And nothing actually was different thanks to the leak. I don't know. I'm almost like disappointed a little bit. Like, what was the point of all that?
We got really worked up again because it feels like this big deal, and in some ways it is. But just because something happens and is really interesting doesn't always mean that there are consequences. Yes,
exactly. Yes, again, I mean, I'm sure it was stressful, and I'm sure like that Sunday was pretty stressful for the people working. I'm sorry they had to work that day, but
you know who doesn't work for Rockstar is us.
Yes, so, exactly.
I mean, I have some empathy for them, but we all have rough days.
Exactly, we all have weekends where we got to get up and take care of something. Absolutely. So yeah, if anything else happens here, we'll catch up on it. Something that happened this morning. Do you know the YouTuber Dunkey, Mike?
I do know about Dunkey. Yes.
I like Dunkey here and there. Yeah, he's funny. Yeah. Exactly.
My problem if I have a problem with Dunkey, it's that it's hard sometimes to tell when he's doing a character bit and when he's being genuine. With something like the Red Letter Media Plinkett reviews.
Yeah,
it's always very clear. Like, okay, this is genuine criticism, and this part is like a joke, and I'm not supposed to take that seriously. Sometimes with Dunkey, it's hard to know when one is being one or one is being the other. But otherwise, he's very clearly talented and funny.
My problem with Dunkey was that I thought he was black, and then when I saw a picture of him, it's like he's very not black, and I'm like, is he doing a black scent? But I think that just might be me. I'm like, I don't know. Something about it was like, oh, is he just putting on those airs? But whatever. That's
hair color, Jeff.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, maybe it's just the fact that he had the Eddie Murphy donkey character as his avatar or whatever. And that threw me off. But whatever. It's his videos are very entertaining. He reaches out to such a broad audience beyond like our typical audience. He's reaching like, yes. I have friends who had never seen my stuff be like, I saw Getting Over It from this video that Dunkey did. I'm like, oh yeah, oh man, it's a very good, funny video. I get it. So I'm like, wow, you know about Getting Over It now, thanks to this person. So when he says he's going to start a publishing label and he's going to be doing, he's going to take his ability to spot good indie games and turn that into a business, I'm like, okay, that seems fine. You have a lot of money. Go for it. A lot of people had a bit of a backlash against him just saying, I played a lot of games, so I think I know what to do here.
Yeah.
And I kind of get that too. Throw some criticism at him. It's probably not going to stop him. So, but at the same time, my take is just like, whatever. He's going to throw money at the space. He might make some mistakes. He'll probably figure it out along the way. And more indie developers having more chances to have financial support from someone who actually cares about them, probably a good thing.
Yeah, talking about things people maybe overreacted to a bit on Twitter.com. I mean, I get it a bit, why you would roll your eyes at this a little bit. And, there's like the pitch video, and he's like, I know what will make a good game because I played a lot. I understand why you roll your eyes at that. But also, like, what do you want to do? Like, I'm just going to guess and hope for the best, right? He's got to kind of pitch it a little bit here. Hey, look, The guy has money. As far as I know, that's really all you need to publish video games, right? It certainly isn't going to hurt anybody. What's the worst that's going to happen? The games fail and he loses money. Oh well,
Right. Exactly.
a lot of people are going to get an opportunity here. I guess it's going to be fine. There's very little to judge here until the games start coming out.
Right, and it's a lot of people pointed this out, but like venture capitalists invest in games all the time, and they know even less than Dunkey does for sure. So really, I mean, if he's just saying I'm going to be the financial backer and I want to help, which is what he is saying. When developers show up and say, well, we could take care of the game part, and if you want to have some input, that's what we'll hear you out. But otherwise, we know how to make games. Just help us do that. Help unlock that talent. That I think that's going to work out just fine for everybody involved. And also, he's going to put the games in his videos, and they're going to get millions of views. So
yeah, of course he is. Like, well, why not? I mean, he makes that part very clear. Like as to a benefit, and that would be a benefit. Like, yeah, what better way to get exposure from Dunkey than to have him bankroll your game?
Mm-hmm. And then Twitch had a pretty bad week.
Yes.
It had to ban gambling because streamers were threatening to leave the platform over a bunch of people losing up to like $200,000 in through some sort of gambling scam on the site.
So I keep hearing it's a gambling scam. What were they just gambling and they lost, or was it literally an unwinnable scam? Like, what was this?
I honestly don't fully understand it. I think it was a pretty unwinnable thing where it was just like kind of funneling into a scheme that was designed to rip people off. But it was like the problem is it's very difficult to tell on the site, like what is real and what is a scam, like what's legit when it comes to gambling. And so it's like, the idea was you need to just rip all this stuff off the platform. And yeah, I mean, this is stuff people have been speaking out about for a very long time, but some major streamers spoke up about it, including Pokimane and a few others. And they're like, we might just, we might stop streaming on Twitch because this stuff is making us very angry. And then Twitch responded pretty quickly to that threat. Yeah. And it's, they're going to finalize the language around the prohibition of gambling on the site on October 18th. But for now, they're warning people that change is going to come. They are still going to allow things like poker and things you could argue are more skill-based than roulette.
Like pachinko!
I think
that's why pachinko exists, because there's like a ban on gambling in Japan or something. But like pachinko is a skill-based game that just gives you fun little tokens. And then there's always a place across the street where you can exchange tokens for money.
Yeah. And people are saying some guy scammed all his friends out of their money to gamble it. A guy basically stole $300,000 from his audience. Yep. That's what I keep hearing.
You can do that? Can we do that?
I mean, let's give it a shot, Mike. I mean, it's worth a shot. Let's do it here on YouTube.
We can publish video games. Then we'll be the cool kids that everybody resents.
Yep. Twitch is shifting the revenue split with its partners in its favor. So if you are like an affiliate on Twitch, I think you have a 50-50 split. Twitch takes 50% of the money. You get the other half. But if you become a partner and you are a major partner, they might do a bespoke deal with you that might go up to like 70-30. Well, now they've announced like, oh yeah, we do those deals. We've never talked about them before, but also we don't do those deals anymore. Now you are all going to be 50-50 after $100,000, no matter what our deal is. That's just flat across the board because it's so expensive to pay Amazon for live video. And so, wait, what the hell?
Why do they pay Amazon? Amazon owns them.
Right. It's like, that seems like ass backwards. I mean, I suppose in many situations, corporations do like work that way, where it's like if you own two different entities, but they do business with one another, you're still supposed to like pay. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but apparently that is how it works. But there's no way that they are paying the market price, right? Like that doesn't make any sense. Because it's like that's just a waste of money at a certain point. Like you have to pay for the overhead as well. Like it's the same corporation. Whatever.
How else is Amazon going to get that money to buy EA?
Yeah, exactly. They are probably just here saying that we could probably make this move now because there are no other competitors in this space for live video, right?
There aren't, and it's a shame that there isn't one. Like, YouTube gaming's kind of doing its thing, and it's something. It's just never going to be Twitch. It's never going to be this big gaming hub and synonymous with gaming like Twitch is, and Mixer just didn't work out, didn't last. It's hard to imagine there's going to be some new thing, right, Jeff?
Mm-hmm. It is. It's kind of thing where it is definitely like building to the point where people are talking about their issues with Twitch in a much more open way. There were some major Twitch talents, some people that used to work at Twitch in a Twitter space last night that was massive. It had like 10,000 people listening or something live on Twitter. I might have said Twitch on Twitter, and it was like they were just saying like it's impossible really to build something on Twitch. You need to build it elsewhere and then push those people to your Twitch. Because if you're not live on Twitch, you're dead. There's nothing happening there to grow. So it's like you have to be live all the time, and then really you are waiting for someone at Twitch to flip a switch to bring viewers to you. There is no like waiting on the algorithm will never ever work. So you could do something like go to platforms that do seem to have an algorithm, go to TikTok, go to YouTube and build something there, or build something on YouTube that can be more video focused. So you could put out a video that could turn viral and then it's making money while you sleep. And it's like, okay, I'm getting the sense that these top creators are going to be burning out of Twitch way faster than before. And Twitch is not doing themselves any favors in terms of keeping those people happy. And yet it probably doesn't matter much just because they have so much power, because where else are these people who make content in that vein really going to go? TikTok is just this whole other thing, and maybe there's some future there, but it's also just so different in the way that people consume stuff. It's like if you want to build an audience, a community or whatever, you're probably still doing it on Twitch, and they know that, and they're taking advantage of it.
Yeah, it is like you do hope that just like some competitor could somehow naturally rise up, I guess. But and I guess this stuff happens. I just can't imagine. Like Google already has YouTube. Microsoft already tried and failed. Is something really just going to start from nothing again? I don't know.
Yeah, and it's like someone in that Twitter space made a good point. It's like on TikTok you could probably find a dozen people like every 10 minutes or something like that. I mean, maybe even more than that every 10 minutes. And on Twitter you're going to see hundreds of people's tweets. But on Twitch, you go because you're trying to find someone that you already follow. You watch them. And maybe you look around the site, but more likely you are just going to go somewhere else with a raid. So it's like you're discovering 1 to 2 people every time you go on that site. And it's not a discovery engine. There's no way that Twitch would have to completely flip itself to be that. And it's like, I see that with like Twitch versus YouTube. Like, my Twitch is growing because, I'm building audiences elsewhere. So more people are coming to me. But before that, it's like no discovery ever happened on Twitch. YouTube, though, we have a video where people are hitting the thumbs up button a lot, and more people are coming in. It starts to build.
Thumbs up button even
starts to build, and it's like you can see it. You can see the discoveries a little bit better on YouTube. So we'll see. That's those were like the two things that were like affecting creators. Then there was a big story in Bloomberg about Twitch being this massive engine for child predation, where this group of about 2,000, 3,000, and not like they're an affiliated group, but these people, 2,000 people, were following up to 200,000 children who had streamed on Twitch at one point or the other. And that was all they were doing, was following these kids. And it's like they would try to manipulate them into doing spicy challenges and things like that. It's real dark, grim stuff. And the question was like, okay, well, what is Twitch doing about this? And it's not clear what exactly they're doing about it. Again, like comparing to YouTube or TikTok, which has slight barriers before you could start going live. None of these platforms really let you go live if you're under 13. But kids do get through. Of course, they're getting through. It's just what happens then. Twitch sometimes gets around to banning those channels, but it could be, it could take anywhere from a half an hour to multiple hours. And in that time, these people are building up this library of potential targets and potential victims. And now, of course, that happens everywhere on the internet, but still, it's like what Twitch is one of the most popular websites in the history of mankind. What are they doing about it? And it's just not clear.
I guess it's going to happen, but you have to do something. I don't know. Like, I don't know what the answer here is. Do we really need people younger than 18 streaming on Twitch? Again, I understand, people should have a right to do that and so on and so forth, but it just gets icky real fast. And I'm not suggesting anything there. I don't know. I haven't been able to put thought into this. Yeah. I don't know what the answer is, but it is just this creepy thing. Again, it's like if I had a kid thing, I had like some 12-year-old kid. Like I'm gonna go on Twitch.com and random strangers can look at me all day. I'd be like, oh, maybe don't do that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't want like some mama Amazon deciding those things, right? But it's gross.
Yep, it's tough, and there's no great answer. And it's like, do we regulate the internet based on the behavior of the worst people? And it's like, well, maybe we have to in some instances.
Sometimes you have to. I mean,
sometimes
a lot of things are regulated because of the worst people, right? That's why a lot of laws exist, because of worst case scenarios.
Then finally, Matt Gaetz, who is being investigated for sex trafficking and is still a U.S. congressperson, is joining Twitch. He's got his own Twitch channel. So that is Twitch's very weird and bad week. Well, I mean, nothing. We kind of talked about it throughout, but not much is going to change here until there's some sort of competitor to Twitch, and it just seems like no one has the capacity or the stomach to take that on, right?
No, not. And you talked about it a little bit today, like why Mixer didn't work. Can you like explain to me, like I'm 5, why exactly Mixer didn't work? Because I didn't use it much, and maybe I'm part of the problem. I was using Twitch a lot back then either, though. But I only ever heard good things about Mixer. Why didn't that work better?
Well, it just comes down to like the momentum, and the space was already dominated by Twitch. I mean, it's as simple as you could think it is. The space was already dominated by Twitch, and so the community self-perpetuating machine of like we are Twitch users. Excuse me, and we have memes that we fully understand, and that stuff is all baked into the language of how Twitch works.
Yeah.
That stuff then extends itself into other platforms where it's like, oh, a lot of stuff on Discord comes from the way we do things on Twitch, and that cross-pollination is just so powerful that trying to introduce like, oh, hey, but we could also do it over a Mixer, and Mixer works in a slightly different way. Here's a sticker. It's like, oh, wait, what? That seems weird because I'm used to this other thing. So that to the point that even if you bring on the most popular streamers on Twitch, they're bringing their audiences, but that audience then, when they're done, is going right back to Twitch. And there was no actual growth of the wider ecosystem based on that. And again, that's just how maybe these live-only platforms work. So it was maybe never, ever going to work. And I think we understand that a little bit better now that we see like the comparison to something like a TikTok, which is just about constantly discovering new stuff. And it's like, okay, that you probably can't just make something that's just live that is really going to be able to compete with an established platform. And so, yeah, Mixer was never going to work.
Let's get Dunkey to do it.
Let's get Dunkey to do Dunkey. He's played a lot of video games. He's watched a lot of streams, so he could probably do it.
There we go.
All right. Yeah, those are the big topics I wanted to talk about this week, Mike. We got some super chats so far. Why don't we get to those, and then I'll start getting some Discord questions, and then we'll answer the rest of the super chats before the end of the show.
That sounds great. Thank you, everybody who's been watching and been sending in super chats. If you are watching, hit that thumbs up button. Let's get to 100. We are close. From the Xbot Murderer, you said Xbox delayed all 2023 games to 2024. Crying laughing emoji, crying laughing emoji, crying laughing emoji, crying laughing emoji, clown face emoji.
There it is.
Clown face emoji.
Sure.
Clown face emoji. And then he sent a separate one later. I'll read this now.
Sure.
Don't say you didn't say it. You're recorded saying it. A single clown face emoji.
If
Jeff,
it's only a single clown face emoji, he doesn't seem as confident in that one.
I mean, yeah, he's been going on about this one for a long time.
Yeah.
I've asked him to just find the recording so we could maybe clear this up. I have no memory of you ever saying this. I don't know what.
I mean, there's no way that has been decided yet. It's just there's no way something like that it would be verifiable at this point in time.
I don't know why. Like, if he either he misheard us or maybe you misspoke.
Possible.
I would love to hear this recording that he apparently has, but he never shows it to us or lets us listen to it. But we've been telling this for months. If that's what was heard or was accidentally said, it's not what was ever meant or believed.
Right.
So
it just would be. There's no way that all of those decisions have been made yet. There are plenty of games that still could come out in the second half of 2023, and I would imagine that you will hear about them by E3 next summer. Like they're gonna have games there. I promise you.
It's funny now that there are actually things to yell at us about. He still is going on this weird thing. It
was really bizarre to be like, I got something really wrong, and yet the conversation. I don't actually go there. Gaming Leaks and Rumors, But people will come from there and yell at me, and they're like, "You got this and this and this and this wrong," and it's a list of things that are just not accurate. I'm like, I got something actually wrong. You could just focus on that. Why go off in this made up list? It's so weird. I don't get it.
From Tengu Ray, Jeff, could I have a status up on Iron Man doing a one-winged angel in his upcoming day? What resources do you need? Do you need us to scissors, Daddy?
Yep. Give me scissor me, Daddy. And now, well, what I need is I need an army. I need about 10,000 strong to come with me, and we'll make this happen. I don't know.
Okay, Putin.
Yes, we are the greatest mobilization in the history of the world. This is something I think will definitely happen. You're going to see Iron Man do a one-winged angel, and I promise you that. You could definitely here Xbox Murder. I promise this.
Daniel Bradley says, which would you rather pass a la Kidney Stone, PlayStation 5 or a Series X? I mean, both are just going to kill you, right?
Right, yeah. Both are going to make your dick explode.
Yeah, I guess the Series X at least is like a more uniform shape. The PlayStation 5 has a lot of weird curves and edges.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, I saw like a picture like yesterday, I think, of like a really large kidney stone, maybe like the size of this bottle cap.
Oh, fuck.
And I've just been, it has motivated me to drink so much more water, Jeff.
Yeah,
like, you wouldn't believe.
Yes. Whenever I think about it, it's like I get back on my water kick, and it's like, okay, this is the way things should be.
Although apparently there's some study that riding Big Thunder Mountain helps pass kidney stones. Like some doctor even like flew patients down there. I don't know why specifically just that roller coaster, but there you go. Ariel Delgado says, Mike and Jeff Scorn stream, The Wall of Flesh Awaits. I saw that you and Jeff streamed this on Giant Bomb, Jeff. It looks like a scary, spooky game for Mikey, though.
It is gross and spooky and scary. It's mostly gross, though, and upsetting. So, there was a flesh human baby grown-up thing that came out of an egg, and he was in constant pain. And yet you scooped him out, and then his arm popped off, and you took his arm to solve a puzzle, and then you felt bad, and that's the game. And
so you didn't like it.
I don't really like it that much. I mean, listen, I'm never gonna play that kind of game. No way.
Did Jess like it?
Yeah, it's just his thing for sure. I mean, she's into the design, the Giger stuff, and like that stuff is impressive. It does look like one of those Giger paintings in motion, and I give it all the credit in the world for that. I don't want to see things in pain for no good reason.
No, I don't like that. I talked about this before. I'm much more of a Christmas guy than a Halloween guy. I've been having fun with Halloween more, just because there are so many spooky possibilities with it. Even like the kind of, I don't know, cheesy stuff is fine. But yeah, I don't like the suffering side of like horror, I guess, right?
Same.
Yeah. And then from Big Jimbo Ryan, yo, Xbot murderer, my man, we got you on payroll, huh? Don't point it out to him. Just we just got to egg him on and keep giving us money. It's great. Georgie says,
well, no, thanks Jim Ryan for paying him so he could pay us. I appreciate that.
That's true. I didn't even catch that Big Jimbo Ryan was supposed to be Jim Ryan. I was like, that's
Big
just this
Jimmy.
guy's name. I thought he meant our payroll. Georgie says, can you share any Japanese partnerships Xbox is working on? Phil said they're working on original Japanese exclusives. Besides Kojima, what else? I'd love Scalebound. Jeff, he like went out of his way to shut down Scalebound. He didn't go out of his way. It was brought up to him, but he shut it down.
Right, and in a way that he didn't shut down like Mistwalker stuff, right?
Right, exactly. When Mistwalker was brought up, and that is Hironobu Sakaguchi's studio. After he was done with Square Enix and Final Fantasy, and they made Blue Dragon and Lost Odyssey in that recent mobile RPG Fantasian, something like that. So that is maybe where I think eyes are. We don't know, but that makes the most sense, right, Jeff?
Yep, I don't know. I do not know. That makes sense to me, though, is Mistwalker.
And if not, like, maybe some other, like, who else would you get maybe if you wanted to get RPGs on Xbox? Again, Atlas is there and Sega. But I don't know. We already saw how much worse Devil Summoner 2 did compared to like Shin Megami Tensei 5 when it was on Xbox and PlayStation instead of Switch.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think he's going to try to talk to some creators that may have like exploded out of Tokyo, Tokyo Studios Japan for or Tokyo Studios Sony worldwide studio stuff. maybe say, hey, like, you need some financial backing to keep making cool games or whatever now that you're indie. And
I met Soul Hackers 2. Thank you, Chad. I keep getting things wrong about Soul Hackers 2. Everybody got really mad at me on Tuesday when I said that wasn't on Xbox.
Well, hey, I mean, hey, listen, that game is, I'm sure it's got its fans, but it didn't sell super well. So it's like, it definitely, I think you're right to assess it that way. But yes, I noticed you, I'm like, I couldn't remember the name exactly or else I would have corrected you. But I'm like, whatever.
I should know better. I'm supposed to be a JRPG guy.
You're just the GameCube guy now. So just stop getting GameCube shit wrong. That's all.
I don't think there's any SMT games on GameCube. That's true. Someone's gonna point one out to me now. There's been a lot of those like people who have left studios and then like joined Tencent recently, right? Like the Yakuza guy. Maybe one of those will make something for Xbox.
Yeah, maybe.
Next one here is from Tengu Ray. It says, "I'll be at Full Gear and start recruiting there." Ooh, he's going to the pay-per-view. That's fun. Where's Full Gear at this year? I don't even know. I don't want to.
Toronto.
Did you get to watch AW from last night yet, Jeff?
No, I was going to watch it after we get done here, but I also might watch Andor. We'll see.
Let's see. Don't watch any gross Star Wars stuff. It was a good episode. You are occasionally on a wrestling podcast, Jeff. You are obligated.
I will definitely be watching this AEW. I mean, I caught the tail end of it, and it seemed like a really good fight. So I want to check out that full thing. Yeah. But I watched the first little bit of Andor, and you know what? This is a spoiler for Andor for the next 10 seconds. If anyone actually cares about that, I know Mike doesn't. No. He kills a guy again, like right away. This time they give him more of a better moral quandary about it, where it's like he doesn't really have a choice, but still, it's
so it's not a bad. Once again, not a bad guy, but he has to make the hard choice. And
yes, yeah, it's still going to rub you the wrong way for sure.
Great. Well, thank you for saving me more time. Ariel Delgado says, "Do you think Xbox will do an EXO Fan Fest this year?"
I don't think so. I haven't been asking around about it. I'll ask around, see what they say, but I don't think so.
Okay. That's it for Super Chats for now, Jeff.
Okay. Let's see. I got questions from our Discord.
Do we need to take a break first, or?
And we're going to get to those right after this.
Right after...
All right, man, what the hell? Let me see here. Okay, go stream settings. Let's blow this up. Edit. Go. There we go. Oh, lost you. Okay, everybody. How are you all doing tonight? Has anyone watched any Andor? Tell me, should I play Monkey Island on PC or Switch? I think wherever you're most comfortable. If you want to have the option to do mouse and keyboard, maybe PC. Uncharted Wolf asks, should I watch Andor despite never watching Star Wars? Yes. Just watch Andor. I want to see what you think. Daniel Bradley, we will get to your super chat before the end of the show. We are on a quick break, so don't you worry about that. Thank you so much for your super chat, though. Brian Rose watched AEW. I do hate weekly releases. I do typically try to wait till everything is out. They did 3 episodes, a 3-episode drop. I feel like that is it's like good enough, and I'm really anticipating the show, so I'm like gonna bite the bullet. Although, you know, it's weekly release, so there's a super strong chance I'll fall off before the end. That has happened with almost every weekly release I've started in the last year. It's not crazy.
That's the opposite for me. Like, I started watching.
I know, but like, you're right. Okay, it's not. I have kids and like 3 jobs, and I'm like, every second is accounted for. If it's like, trying to like do a weekly show is just never working for me, and that's just me.
Listen to me. You can't just wait until it ends, and then you.
Well, I know that's what I'm saying, but then at that point, I find out most of the time that the shows aren't any good. Like,
what are you talking about now?
Weekly releases and how like not that that's a problem. Right now, I've saved myself some time because it's like you could try to watch along for the weekly stuff, or you can wait till the end and wait till it's all out. But frequently in the last year, that has been like, oh, and then you find out everyone actually ended up hating it. I'm like, well, I'm not going to fucking watch it now.
Right.
I like the binge model too, Moawe. We are weird, I guess, now, though.
Yeah, I don't know. the binge thing is like you should release it all at once. I don't like that because like you could, if you like binge, you can just wait for it to end.
If you like weekly, just one episode a week. What are you saying?
No, because the weekly thing is about like the experience of like watching it with everybody at the same time, with talking about it every week. You know, that's the thing.
It's about needing friends and stuff.
Yeah, it's about needing friends.
That's for weak people.
No Man's an Island, Jeff.
That's the theme of Andor.
Wow, shut!
No, literally, like they released Sandman, and I just dropped that show because like I couldn't.
That's the best story.
Wait, wasn't No Man's an Island the theme of The Mandalorian and also of Obi-Wan?
And that's also the theme of Naruto. What is who was the one that told you that story? There was like they're a writer, and like whenever someone asks them what the theme is, like I don't know. No Man is an Island.
It was a screenwriting class I took at State College as an elective, and it was just some video we watched. It was just some screenwriter who wrote some famous movie who was just clearly exasperated by like producers and executives pretending that they like read a book on making movies. Be like, so what's this movie about? So every time it's like, oh, it's about how no man's an island, and it always fit. It always works.
That fucking rules. I love that so goddamn much.
Yeah.
All right, let's get back into it. Here we go.
I'm gonna keep eating this pizza.
Go for it. Put some mayonnaise on it.
Pizza pie was it made by Luigi Primo?
No, it was made by my mom, so pretty close. Okay, later.
Okay, I've got some questions here from the Discord from our very fine supporters, including Jim Ryan did 908. Hello, Mike, gaslit into liking Daisy Minotti, and Jeff, once again, deeply disturbed by something Mike said, Grubb. Yeah. What genre disappointed you the most?
Genre?
Yes.
An entire genre. You know what? Okay. I'm pretty much a chameleon with game genres. I think I've appreciated all of them. Like almost any genre, I will have something in it I can say that's one of my favorite games, even if it's not really my thing. Like I'm not really a racing game guy, but like I look at Ridge Racer Type 4, I'm like, that's one of my favorite games, right? I have a lot of friends who love real-time strategy games. I have some friends who went so hard on Warcraft 3, some of them like ranked really high, like overall leaderboards. I have never really gotten into a real-time strategy game. I've liked some of them okay, like Warcraft 2, Warcraft 3, even StarCraft. It's always been a bit much. So I always feel bad about it because, again, I find something to love about almost any genre. Something about real-time strategy I've always just felt a little slow on.
I was going to say real-time strategy. I think that's a really good answer. My answer, though, is Japanese role-playing games. As a kid, like reading magazines and stuff, you see like so much coverage of the stuff. It was so popular with that group of writers, and they looked like these grand adventures. And then I would go and play them and would mostly be like, oh, these things are sort of meandering and don't have great direction or pacing. And even if I do like them, by the end, I don't anymore. They kind of fall apart. And so it's like, yeah, I was most frequently disappointed by games in the JRPG genre until Nintendo made it fun with Super Mario RPG.
Somebody brought up Command & Conquer. The only Command & Conquer I played was Red Alert 3 because it had like the really funny live action videos. I think Ric Flair was in the DLC even. I liked it, but again, I had no deep appreciation for it.
From Laushin, hey gents, hope your week went well. Jeff, I want to stay in my room and look at porn all day, Grubb. And Mike, my hole is too wide, Minotti. Do you guys think Splatoon is so popular in the East because it is the Gobon of shooters?
What's Gobon?
I don't know.
Google this.
I'm going to highlight it.
But yes, also I do think that's why.
Search with Google search. Gobon.
Of shooters.
This
must be some weeb shit.
7th century Irish Benedictine monk. I don't think that is correct.
That can't be what they mean.
No?
That can't be what they mean.
And then maybe, okay. Like Go. The Go of shooters, where it's like it's about taking over territory with your white pieces versus your black pieces. Okay, I could see it.
Wait,
do you know what Go is? Yeah, Go.
No.
Do you know what Stratego is?
Yes, like Risk?
Stratego, the one where it's like the black and white pieces taking over the board.
Stratego, but I always assumed Stratego was like some kind of a clone of Risk.
No,
I never played it. Oh, Othello. Someone said Othello.
Othello. That's what I meant. Yes, Othello.
AKA the 7-Up game for NES, which is just exactly like Othello.
Yes, it's like Othello. Othello is to checkers as Go is to chess.
Okay.
But
what does this have to do with Splatoon?
Well, you take over territory with your paint. You're basically your pieces and they're different colors.
Yeah.
And Go is very, very, very popular in the East.
Interesting.
I'm gonna say no. No, that's not.
I think it's popular because of like all that idol kind of stuff, and it's just its vibe. It really appeals to like the Japanese key demographic, as they say, right?
Exactly. He says, "P.S. I'm 35. I'm 35 with 2 kids, and mixing cereals how I keep things interesting." All right.
Look, he's like a fusion dance. He's my age, but with your amount of children.
Wow. Yeah, good luck, Laushin. Major Phazon, are either of you guys considering moving to YouTube thanks to Twitch being a dumbass? I know you both have established audiences, but like, hey, you guys, you got to do what you got to do. Thanks for the shows. Honestly, great watching you guys.
I work on a lot of things that are operated by dumbasses. As soon as I started streaming, it was on Streamlabs. Everybody's like, they're evil now. Like, you all just told me to download this, and I just learned it. God. Look, I am like the smallest drop in the pan there. I'm pulling in like 40 viewers each time, which I know is like, some people would be really happy with that. Again, that's coming from like the audience I have built here, and maybe through games would be mostly through here anyway. So whatever. I mean, the Twitch thing for me is just something I get to do for some fun. Like, I would not want to give it up for that selfish reason, is that it works well for me. I mean, look, they have like what they have built. It does work pretty well. There are a lot of nice options. Like, that's part of the problem, and you can't replicate all that stuff on YouTube. Really, it works well for this kind of live show thing that we do, but not for like, I'm gonna just hang out for however long and play some Splatoon 3.
Yeah, we will keep doing podcasts on YouTube. Podcasts are much better on YouTube. It is the right platform for that. But if we're going to be playing games live on the internet or doing a sort of variety stream, Twitch is the better place for that because it's more flexible. Where it's like, so one minute we could be playing a game, the next minute we could just be talking to you, and then the next minute we could be like, let's watch a movie on Amazon Prime.
That stuff is great. I mean, God, it makes me wish like now it's like I wish every movie was on Amazon Prime just because the watch parties are fun.
Yep. So it's like there's a real clear, obvious path to making money on that platform, and as crude as that is, it's a big part of it. So it stinks they're run by dumbasses.
Google ain't so great either in a lot of ways, right?
But Google's also a bunch of dumbasses. I'm like, YouTube's a fucking mess. It sucks to be on all these platforms, but it's like even I've learned with Giant Bomb, which is like a platform unto itself. You still really, really need these other platforms to kind of see where we're going to grow. So
no man is an island.
No man is an island. The Uncharted Wolf. Hey Jeff, never the pisser, always the sitter, Grubb, and Mike, always the pisser and sometimes the sitter, Minotti. What's y'all's gaming bad habit? For example, I tend to panic very easily when playing intense games, despite not being an anxious person. That's why I can't play fighting games, despite wanting to, because the moment I start getting comboed, my brain sees it as a signal to give up and accept the loss. So there's fight, there's flight, and then there's like a freeze.
Yes,
which is one they always forget about. It sounds like you're a freezer when you get the lights flashed at you, you turn into a deer in the headlights. Yeah, it happens.
I'm a big freezer in real life situations. Like I dropped one of the nephews one time. Well, I did drop him. Let's say a nephew fell and hurt himself.
I kind of in court someday.
Froze like this for a while. Like, my brother and his wife, like, what are you doing? Do something. I was like, I don't know. He's just like sitting on my lap and like bouncing, and then he just like fell over and hurt himself, and they're like, why didn't you hold him better, blah, blah, like all this stuff's happening. It was like, I just don't want to be here. I don't know.
I don't even want to be here anymore.
No. Video games though, I don't know. I think posture, I don't know if that's really the spirit of what he's saying. That's what I worry about. Even right now, I'm leaning forward like this. I don't know. I need to be taking advantage of like this back stuff.
Nope, that's actually wrong.
Posture's a big problem.
You got to be on the edge. You just use the edge of your chair apparently. And then you put your knees below your butt, and then you sit up straight. There you go. And this is that's it.
Yeah, I gotta get like a back brace. I think my neck's starting to protrude a bit too much.
Yeah, mine does that too.
Right, but inside games themselves, I don't know. I feel like I adjust pretty well to whatever.
Yeah, I mean, my gaming bad habits are not sticking with stuff and just kind of, taste testing a bunch of different things. But also, I'm like, I've accepted that's who I am, and I'm okay with gaming that way for the most part. Yeah, so that's my bad habit.
I think so. I was when I'm playing with people sometimes, and I think a lot of people. If I'm playing like my friends and I'm comfortable with them, I don't yell at strangers. Sometimes I will yell at my friends, maybe more harshly than they deserve, especially with my brothers, because I'm very comfortable with them. I'm like, you stupid donkey, why did you do that? And we're just playing Fortnite. Who cares?
Screaming Mad and hey, Beef and Cheddar lads, I got nothing serious to ask this week, so I'll ask something goofy. When you play one game and get to one moment, does a sound effect or a voice clip from another game play in your head? I'm thinking back to my many bouts with Melania from Elden Ring, who I eventually beat, and whenever she jumped in the air to then do her multi-sword attack, this voice clip played in my head. Let me see if I got this ready to go. This should play. Let's see here. Nope. I muted this thing. I muted it. Hang on. I muted. Let's see. Unmute tab. There we go.
You don't want to be in the way when my laser goes off.
Oh my gosh, it's Buzz Lightyear. It's Buzz Lightyear.
Yes, it is. From the Toy Story video game. And you don't want to be in the way when my laser goes off. So.
That's great. That's fantastic.
Let me mute this tab.
I have a few things like that, Jeff. Very recently, anytime somebody like takes a picture in a video game or in real life, either out loud or in my head, I say, one for JJ from Spider-Man 2's victory pose from Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Yeah, one for JJ. I love it. I don't know. But there's like basic ones. Anytime like I get a big key item, I sometimes do the da na na na. If I reload a save file, the da 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 from Metroid.
When I die, I get the game over screen from Super Mario Sunshine. Too bad, and then I go, too bad, so sad.
One for JJ. This is so good. I say it instead of cheese now. Seriously, I love it.
Incredible. Danger Man Lead. Hey guys, the new RTX 40 series is damn weird that the 4090 is looking to be the best value card and likely the 4090 Ti full fat when that comes out. Over the 4080 and the 4080 12GB, a 4070 Ti if we are being generous. The whole mess feels like Jensen Huang wants to have his cake and eat it too by jacking up the 4080 12GB and 4080 and not lower the cost of various Ampere cards. God, I hope RDNA 3 offers the big leap. Yeah, I mean, these are companies that are going to keep trying to get away with as much as possible, especially Nvidia. Maybe AMD will do some competition on the pricing side of things, but AMD in the recent years has also been trying to raise the prices. So we can only be so hopeful that that's going to be a good counter to this. But yeah,
would the counter be just people buying the 30 series instead? Like
yeah, but I don't
upgrading?
And I don't think Nvidia would be too upset about that because those things are now so plentiful that there's probably going to be supply of them for quite some time. So it's like, you don't set these. They're not going to lower the price of the 30 series cards. They're going to keep these prices high, and then once the 30 series cards sell out, maybe they'll think about a price adjustment, or maybe they'll just start releasing the actual, what they call the 4070 Ti and the 4070 and stuff like that, and start filling in the rest of the market at that point. I mean, we know all those cards are coming eventually, so we'll see. We'll see how this actually plays out. They are just going to try to get away with as much as possible because they are Nvidia.
You know what's disgusting, Jeff? What absolutely makes me fucking sick is that when you talk about some of this shit now, I actually understand it. It used to be whenever we went on this video card shit, I would just zone out, or I would be a deer in the headlights. Like I would get mad, and now I actually kind of understand what is going on. The fact that I know the difference between the 30 and 40 series is a huge improvement from a few years ago.
Yes, for sure. Mr. Bowler, hey Game Messers. After the recent trailer for God of War Ragnarok, Jeff said he might be willing to give God of War 2018 a try again after bouncing off it the first time. What game did you bounce off originally, only to come back 2 years later and have it click for you the second time around?
Oh gosh, I know that there are examples.
I know,
of this,
me
Jeff.
too. I'm like, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to think of it.
Yeah, I just absolutely 1000% know that there is a really good example somewhere. Like, there's certainly JRPGs that I didn't beat the first time because I was too young, like Final Fantasy 3/6, which like I actually liked a lot, and then didn't really beat till years later. I mean, recently with the Ninja Gaiden game from the reboot one from like 2003 or whatever. I didn't beat it, but then finally kind of got to it when we did it for the Game Mess Game Club. So that was something. But man, yeah, I feel like there is like a giant example.
I know, and none of it's
one
coming
of
to
my favorite
mind.
games now. And at the time, I just didn't really quite get it. And then I played it later, and suddenly it was like this thing I absolutely loved. But it's not coming to me right now.
Yeah, and maybe because maybe it happens infrequently. Maybe I should stop going back to games, because maybe it's like most of the time I should just go on to something new and see if I find something, because maybe it doesn't actually work out that frequently for me. Let's see, from Velocity Prime 1. Hello, Jeff, Death by Mario Grubb, and Mike, Miss Master Minotti.
Mm-hmm.
The Beef and Cheddar Boys are starting their own indie game production house. What types of games would you champion, and what kind of scandals will you be embroiled in? Will Jason Schreier need to write an expose about the whole process?
Yes,
well, of course,
absolutely.
Of course, yes.
He would. God, what kind of? I mean, it seems obvious, Jeff. I feel like it'd be a lot of retro style things. I'd be like, every meeting, I'd be like, "Have you played Shovel Knight?" Make something like that. Make something that's familiar and comfortable to when I was 10, and I will like it. I don't know. I like to imagine I'd be pretty open-minded and see a lot of different possibilities, but, who knows? I have not given much thought about being a video game publisher. The scandals would definitely just be people like looking up the waifu and husbando episode of Less Than 10 Dogs.
Yes, exactly. Oh my God, what is this? I would probably do a bunch of like weird truck games and simulator games.
God.
And,
see, there'd be infighting. Because you do that, I'm like, no, we need to do more like games that try to be JRPGs, but with 1/10 of the budget and manpower.
I'm like, no, we need to do weird stuff that's like bad, but secretly kind of okay. And so the expectations are so low that when they come out and they like have a pretty good like sense of self or whatever, everyone's blown away by them. It would be like a trombone champ would be a good like North Star, and then Snow Runner would be the other North Star.
Were you? You must not be the first. You were the first person I saw who played trombone.
I played it the day it came out, and
Did you start this?
I mean, we were definitely one of the first to play it, but I mean, I think it was like moving up the Steam charts, so I'm going to assume that I didn't start it, but definitely we were playing it before anyone else. Huh?
Did you middle it if you didn't start it?
I middled it.
I think
yes.
you middled it really hard.
Yeah, I middled it fucking hard, Mike.
You middled it so hard it said your name.
Yeah. From Dugan. Deciders, aka Mike, keep nature's candy away from my mouth, Minotti, and Jeffy Appleseed Grubb. Is the Steam Deck worth it for someone without a Steam library / no computer gaming experience? Sorry if this is a rehash question, but I'm so ready to pull the trigger on this thing. Thanks again. Enjoy the weekend. Yes.
I'll tell you what, it's definitely worth looking at stuff like that Logitech handheld. How can you not think that the Steam Deck is actually a really good value for what it is?
Get that $400 one. Get the cheap one. You're going to be fine. It's really solid, even when you're loading games off of SD cards. And yes, it's worth it. Because for at one point, you can get games pretty cheap on Steam. You can also go get Humble Bundles and get a whole bunch of Steam codes. You could probably just go, like, in our Discord here, ask people, do you have any unused codes from Humble Bundles? And you'll probably get a ton of games to start your library. Like, no joke, I have a ton for you.
There's going to be a fall game sale soon. If you just start your Steam account for the first time, you're going to find a few things to pick up that are going to get you going. And then there's all the emulation, which people will help you out with. Like, that's the most recent time I used my Steam Deck, and it was great. It was like, I want to play the Final Fight games on Super Nintendo. And I just spent like a few nights playing through those and watching stupid YouTube videos, and it was great. Yeah, it was. We had John Warren from formerly of Fanbyte on Bombcast this week, and he's got NFL 2K5 going, and we helped Ron Funches get it running and stuff. So it's like, yeah, like this is the thing everyone is doing on this thing is playing old games. They're like, oh, I haven't actually played this on an emulator before, because this is from that weird generation between like N64, Super Nintendo, where everyone was emulating everything, and then the modern stuff. It's like, oh, I have like Xbox games emulating that. Well, now that stuff is happening, and it's great. So it's really a really good system for that sort of stuff. And then while you're doing that, you could probably spot a few good deals on Steam before the fall sale starts. From Ogto, yo there, Jeff. Satchmo played the trumpet, not the trombone, you Philistine Grubb. And Mike, actual star of the show, Minotti. By the way, that now everybody does the middle nickname.
Yes, it's become the like. Yes, absolutely.
I feel like it was originally some specific person's gimmick, and now everybody does it, and I love it.
Yeah, was it? I can't remember. Was it Bops? I can't remember. It was someone. Sorry to whoever started this. Credit to you. With how bloated open world games have gotten, is it time to revisit Mafia 2, a game that was criticized at launch for having basically no bloat? Or said differently, do you think there is merit to the open world as backdrop rather than playground? Like LA Noire might be another example, they say.
That's what I was thinking of. Susie said that, because that was like my big disappointment. Well, my biggest disappointment with that game was that it was like a solve mysteries game where you couldn't actually solve the mysteries. Like one of the cases you get wrong no matter what, because you have to move the story forward that they wanted to tell, and that was
fucking Rockstar.
Bullshit. Yeah, like that is something. I think you need something. Like LA Noire was pretty crazy in terms of you couldn't actually do anything with this immaculate, like classic Hollywood that they built. It was kind of weird.
I think this has already happened in a recent game called Cyberpunk, where it's mostly a backdrop. There isn't much of a playground there at all. Yeah, you can get in some skirmishes with some of the AI. They're not very good. It's kind of a waste of your time. So it's mostly just a really pretty setting that you're moving through. And it is like one of the best backdrops in the game if that's all you want from it. So, but I think that's actually to the game's detriment. I think it's kind of a negative sign of it. He also says, P.S. Mike, have you ever checked out the point-and-click adventure game Blazing Dragons for PS1 and Sega Saturn?
Blazing Dragons? That sounds...
Very LucasArtsy, looks and sounds great, seems mostly forgotten.
It sounds maybe vaguely familiar to me. I'm looking it up now. I don't think so. Blazing Dragons was also an animated series. Man, Crystal Dynamics. Man, this cover art looks slightly familiar. That's man.
I mean, Goldie says you can run over Dan Riker in LA Noire. That's right. He's in that game, so you can run him over.
What do you mean he's in that game?
They scanned him when he was doing a story.
He's
for
actually
Game
in that
Informer.
game?
Yeah. He doesn't care about ethics in games journalism.
Was this... my brain is overloaded with Dan Riker info after that in absolutely banana bonker story about him tasing himself to wake up in the morning for a couple of weeks, Jeff.
I spent 2.5 hours getting ready for this high roll hustle thing we're going to do on Friday, and we're trying to figure out how to get over there. I accidentally upgraded my stamina, and I admitted it, and I'm like, listen, was I not supposed to do that? And I go do work, and then we're talking later. And he's like, okay, so we're going to figure out Jeff's punishment live on the show. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's like, no, yeah, you did. I'm like, but you're going to let her go get the stamina thing, so we'll be even. Nope, still got to punish me. This is, he should not have this power.
Really great. This Blazing Dragons game does look very much like a classic LucasArts adventure game, and you play as a cartoon dragon. So yes, definitely looks like... Nope, my only concern here is if it's actually only on PlayStation and Saturn, that means you can't actually point and click. And I don't know if
I wonder if you could do like a point and click sort of something in an emulator or whatever.
It would honestly be weird to make a game like this and not make a PC version, but maybe there's no PC version. I don't know. But if that's probably why people don't talk about it, if it never had a PC version. There was a PlayStation mouse, says Cast Coder. I wonder if it was compatible.
I think the game Trombone Champ referred to me as Satchmo at some point, and that's why I made the air. But then they also said
it's the game's fault, not yours.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm also a Philistine for sure, but I think it also called the trumpet the coward's trombone, which is
that's just true.
That's gonna stick with me forever.
What about the tuba? What is it called, the tuba? Because that's what I played in marching band.
That's probably the pervert's trombone.
Wow. Yes. True. No comment.
Beef Hammer says, happy Thursday, my fellow Ohio survivors. With the Game Mess community prepared for this weekend's Splatfest, how are you going to encourage us to bring Team Grubb a victory? Or are you planning to threaten us if Team Grubb loses? I'll see you boys in the trenches this weekend.
Nudes,
huh? All right, yeah, there you go. You've heard it here first. Nudes. So I hope that encourages you. The nudes of what? Us?
Nudes.
Okay, all right. Epic open world. Hello, Mike. I talk about my genitals in weird ways on podcast Minotti, and I mean,
that's I don't know.
Who are you to say that's a weird way to do it? And Jeff, should Mike talking about his genitals in weird ways on podcast be on the ban list? Grubb.
No, people like when I do that.
With the previews for the new Madden and Rabbit. With the preview for the new Mario and Rabbids game, Madden and Rabbids would be a hell of a game.
That would be a good game. Holy shit.
I would fucking love that. That's
I thought it was dead.
the game that's only possible now that he's dead. Madden and Rabbids. Okay. With the Mario and Rabbids game hitting, I gotta ask, do people like the Rabbids now, or are they just tolerated because Mario's in the game? I mean, it's mostly that.
I think they're I tolerate them. I do not like them. Like in those games, you can like make your own party, and you have like 7 options, and half of them are rabbits or whatever. There's no half of 7. I know. Well, I guess 3.5 is, but you know what I mean. I do not put any rabbits in my team. That's for sure. Surprise cat appearance.
Yeah, he's down here. He says hello. He's yelling at me. All right. Let's see. I think most people just tolerate them. I think that they're fine, but they're not very charming, actually. So occasionally, I can like deal with them one rabbit at a time on my team. Vision 49. Hey, Mike, this one is about Luigi's penis, Minotti. And Jeff, let's watch the Nick Cage movie with the least Nick Cage Grubb. Listen, that was not my idea.
That's what you get for delegating, Jeff. You're not bold enough to make your own decisions.
Yes, you're right. What are you both most excited for in 2023? Personally, I default to Tears of the Kingdom, but I had completely forgotten Mina the Howler existed until a couple of days ago, and now I can't stop thinking about how good that game looks. Man, that reminds me, I gotta yell it down. We're supposed to do a Shovel Knight Dig quick look here pretty soon.
Someone's asking about that in a super chat in a little bit. So
okay, let's see. So yeah, Tears of the Kingdom.
I mean, 16.
Final Fantasy 16. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Even more so than Tears of the Kingdom. I love Final Fantasy. This is being made by the guys who made 14, which I just can't get enough of. Played every day. Like one of my favorite games ever. I cannot wait for Final Fantasy 16. There's some other stuff. I assume Hollow Knight Silk Song comes out next year, so that'll be exciting. But yeah, definitely 16, and then I think so. Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth comes out later in the year, right? So that'll be.
That sounds right. Yes, the holiday time. I guess that could be early 2024, but it'll probably be holiday time. So, yeah, Tears of the Kingdom, and especially now that we are coming out of that thing. I mean, they didn't show a ton of it, but I'm still most excited for that game.
Yeah, I guess I am still waiting for like the hype trailer for that game, like we just got with Ragnarok.
Right, exactly. Let's see, from Noverzia. Sure. Mike, Jeff, please regale us with the origin story of the legendary crime-fighting duo, the Beef and Cheddar Boys. How did these super-powered beefy boys come to be? Do you think there's any truth to the rumor that they are secretly mild-mannered gaming journalists? And then hashtag cinematic universe. That's absurd.
That's McDonald's propaganda.
Yes. And speaking of McDonald's, every origin story is about like why you didn't become the evil version of yourself. So the Beef and Cheddar Boys were faced with a dilemma. There was like a fork in the road. They could have been evil, but then they saw the Big Mac gang out there just being true shitheads, and they're like, listen, we could put a stop to this. We have the power. And really, I respect them for that, for seeing evil in the world and doing something about it. Someone has to.
They are true heroes, that is for sure.
Sesame Oil, what's up, boys? Monster Hunter Rise added DLSS support on PC when Sunbreak expansion launches, but the game is lightweight enough that any Nvidia GPU can run DLSS, can run Monster Hunter Rise without DLSS well enough. Do you think this DLSS support is a tech preparation for some sort of Switch 2/Pro upgrade? I mean, maybe. Also, it could just be like maybe Capcom building up a relationship with DLSS or with Nvidia to the point where they're like, hey, yeah, we want to just test this stuff out because maybe the next time around we want this game to be running at 8K and 60 frames per second or something like that. But I think your guess there is there's some potential truth to that. I don't think we know for sure, though. From Hosp, hey, yo, messy boys. Jeff, are you going to check out Shovel Knight Dig? And Mike, as I'm a JRPG newbie, what the hell do I follow up the brilliant Live Alive with? I do like turn-based.
Like Live Alive, I would actually maybe go play Chrono Trigger next. That's pretty seminal. It's also not super, like Live Alive, it's not a super long one. It's not like some 80-hour thing. You could probably beat it in 20 to 25 hours, if that. And it's very, very good. And there's, if you just get like the ROM of the Super Nintendo version, you'll be good. There's most Super Nintendo RPGs now. I'm like, I don't know if you really just want to play the original anymore. Chrono Trigger, I think you're still pretty good just playing the original. Even if not, like if you're savvy enough, there are some like ROM hacks and whatnot that improve things 8 bits.
Yeah, I'll be looking at Shovel Knight Dig with Dan, and once it's out, which is probably is it out now? Is it out today?
People were talking about it today. I don't know if it was just reviews that happened
the embargo popped today. Yeah. That's why I was like, well, we were supposed to do that. I will be checking it out though for sure. And we'll have coverage of it on Giant Bomb, so look out for that. Let's see, G-Man. Oh, you said we had a super chat about that? You want to just read that one real quick so we can...
Yeah, Daily Beanie says, either of y'all play Shovel Knight Dig, thinking about getting it this weekend. I haven't. I'm excited, Jeff, although I didn't like Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon, which was like a very different. It was a puzzle game, I know, but I didn't like that. Like, I straight up just didn't like it. So, but Dig, I still don't really understand what Dig is entirely, but people seem high on it, so
yeah,
I'm hopeful.
Yes, I'll definitely be checking it out, and we'll talk about it next week probably. Let's see, G-Man, sir. Hello, Jeff, Greg Miller Jr., Grubb, fair, and Mike Widehold, Miss Naughty.
I was like, who am I going to be a junior of? Oh, it's still about my penis. All right, fair.
For your own personal reasons, what is the best day of the week and the best time of day for a gaming presentation, like a Nintendo Direct or State of Play could air? Like what time of day and what day would you want a Direct or State of Play?
I definitely want it like at 4 p.m. So it's towards the end of my workday, but it's still my work day. It's like,
sure, yeah.
I can still cover it as part of work. On what day? Whatever at that point. It's kind of nice when it's like when these things are on a Monday, just because Mondays can be kind of funky. It kind of pulls you out of that funk a little bit.
Yeah, they're never on Monday though, are they?
They never are. They're always Tuesdays or Thursdays.
Yeah, occasionally Wednesday, I think. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, it'd be nice. Monday would be great because then you can cover it on the podcast. Well, yeah.
Right.
I mean, the Direct was on Tuesday morning, so I guess we still got to do that. That was fine. I tend to. I think Mike's supposed to. As long as it happens a little bit later in the day, so like anytime after noon,
yes.
I'd be good. Jedi Moss 4. Good evening, Mike, Strap on Minotti, and Jeff. Why does anyone listen to this dumb podcast, Grubb? With the reports that Sony is preparing detachable disk drives for the PS5 and Microsoft allegedly testing their own type of external disk drive for Xbox, how likely is it that the next gen of consoles will be all digital with an optional disk drive offered separately for those who want access to their physical games? I think it's very likely.
I think it's pretty freaking likely, Jeff. And the only thing that's going to stop them is very upset brick and mortar retail partners. Maybe.
Yes. And maybe some really loud physical people who are... They will tell you about it. They'll tell you how they have physical games and how that's the only way of doing things.
They love to tell you about it, don't they?
Yes, they do. And so it's... I think that's going to be a little bit of a landmine that they're going to have to skirt around, but they will probably just make the argument, well, if you care so much, here's the external drive. We'll still ship you games. You probably have to order them directly online because they're not going to be very popular, but yeah, we'll do that for some of the stuff. And
it's weird to think that, I mean, gosh, GameStops are just going to go out of business, aren't they? That's going to finally come crashing down, huh?
Yes, yeah. Right.
I mean,
listen, you don't need to, like they say they won't sell their consoles in store. PlayStation Direct is it's very popular now. Like you just go to the PlayStation Direct store and get your PlayStation 5. So, yeah.
I mean, as long as like Walmart still will, and they probably will.
They will.
I don't know. It's all so weird now. I kind of say before, like the Best Buy, how first it opened, it had this giant CD section, this giant movie section, this giant video game section. First to go is the CD section, just gone now. Now, like the movie section is just about also disappeared, and gaming is certainly going to be next.
Yep. From Delta Prime, hey Jeff, I still believe in you despite your little mistake, Grubb. Thank you. Mike, probably playing way too much Disney Dreamlight Valley Minotti. Is that true?
Yeah, I was actually playing a bit of it today. I played it like off stream for the first time today, just for funsies. I've been enjoying it. It's been very enjoyable.
I'd get a PSVR 2 if it ran on PC, but it doesn't. Do you have any new info on the Valve Index 2 or other PC VR headsets? I haven't heard anything about Index 2. I think HTC is always like updating their stuff, though, and it's still pretty good. So if you want to get a new good PC one, like there's always some like options on the market for you. Have they confirmed PSVR 2 won't work on PC? I guess I suppose I would assume it wouldn't.
I assume.
Yeah, it would be cool if it did, but I don't expect it ever to do that. But I don't know. An Index is still great, like just as it is. But you probably want to wait for something that is inside out. There's a lot of inside out options that are very good. They're just all really expensive. That's the big thing. From Blackheart Vinyl, your 2023 Xbox list popped up in the news again recently, but I wanted to ask you, how you're feeling about the progress of some of their smaller games. Any updates, expecting them in 2023, for example. Project Belfry from Stoic, Wu-Tang Clan game from Brass Lion. I'm sorry, let Mike pronounce this.
Wu-Tang Group.
Yeah, Wu-Tang Group. There you go.
You sound like a fucking asshole when you say it wrong, Jeff.
1 versus 100 and the Monster Hunter like from Certain Affinity. I think that all of those probably will be out by the end of next year, with maybe the exception of the Wu-Tang Clan game.
Who?
Wu-Tang Group. The Wu-Tang Group, right? Yes, exactly. Monster Hunter's the Certain Affinity Monster Hunter like. I guess that could also still be a ways off. But I think there's a chance that all of them could be on their way here pretty soon. I especially think Project Belfry will be. And then 1 versus 100 is one of those where if it's going to come at all, it'll come pretty soon, I think. But that, the leader of that team left, and I haven't heard much about it since then. So maybe that it just like falls apart and we never actually get it, which would be a real fucking annoying shame. But
it would be. I bet Xbox Killer will remind you about that.
Yeah.
Or the Xbox Murderer now, whatever.
Well,
whatever.
Yeah, the Xbox Killer.
Did you get the Wu-Tang Group the skin in Fortnite? I did.
I got the emote. But
I got the whole thing. Yeah, the Wu-Tang is for eternity.
Yeah, Wu-Tang for life. I'm sorry, Wu-Tang for eternity. You're right. I always mess that up.
Wu-Tang. Did I say Tang? Excuse me. Forgive me.
All right, let's see.
No.
I swear to God, you gotta stop. I wanna go get you.
Yeah, come on, Jeff. Stop saying it wrong. You're pissing off Christian.
I see in chat people are getting their messages deleted because they're saying it wrong. Or too right for Christian. Let's see here. Binge JC. Hello, Meatman. I have a question regarding industry leakers. We have leakers like Jeff and Jason that are very public with just who they are. Then we have leakers like Nate and the Snitch that completely hide who they are. I guess Nate kind of does, but he where he lives and stuff. And
I guess I never assumed that Nate did it because like he has like some like actual like other identity in the industry. I assumed that was always just for whatever reason.
Yeah, this is like his YouTube character or whatever. Whatever. When reporting on leaks, does people knowing who you are have any impact on stuff? And when someone doesn't know, does it affect what you can share? Or is it just personal choice? Is it just something I've been thinking about?
I wasn't a big fan of the leaks you were doing back when you were at GamesBeat, but I didn't care.
Right, I was just doing my job, and they definitely want to have meetings and stuff, and I took the meetings. But I was working from a certain position of being a games journalist, so they felt like they could at least have a conversation with me when someone like the Snitch does it. I don't like, do these companies even think do we even approach this person? Is that even possible? Like, is this a group of people? What is this thing? So, but that, from their point of view, who cares, about what their problems are with it. In terms of how I feel about it, I think it's, attaching my name to it. I do feel a strong ownership over it, which is why when I do when I felt the need to apologize, because my name is attached to it, and I want to put a lot of weight behind the things I say. And when I say I mean it, I want it to be like, no, I really mean it, and it's this. You can count on this stuff. And that's not to say anyone who is does have a character does have a special identity would feel differently. I bet most of them feel pretty similar. I just know having my name attached to stuff does really come with that extra sort of oomph of wanting to get it right for me. And I can't really speak to the people that do it any other way because it's not. I've never tried that. From Jamie H. Christmas Eve, thanks to things like Kickstarter updates or no-clip documentaries, I've seen how the sausage is made with regards to game development and level design, and it's only enhanced my enjoyment of the final product as I can see where a level went from a gray cube map to what I end up experiencing. Do you think the GTA reception would have been different if updates like those were more ubiquitous in the industry?
I don't know. I thought that honestly, like you said, most people did know that stuff by now.
Yeah.
That's why I was surprised that there were still so many people who were like, "Oh, I can't believe this game looks bad." But it's the internet. It's so hard to know how many people are bad actors or bots or children. It's hard to know how to take anything.
Yeah, good point.
Seriously anymore, really. So maybe it's not something we need to really get that worked up about. That some people think Grand Theft Auto 6 looked bad in its leaks. It'll be a what was it called what's the word when you don't buy something? Not a ban. not a protest, not an embargo.
You don't buy. A boycott.
A boycott was the word I was looking for.
Yes.
Thank you, Jeff.
I said, don't buy something like you don't believe it. Is that what you meant?
No,
oh, you don't purchase
no,
something.
Like,
okay.
It'll be like the all the boycott Modern Warfare 2 people, and then like
yes,
and Steam, and then they were all playing it.
They're all playing.
Thank you, Fire. Yes, boycott. That's a weird word. I haven't had a brain fart like that where I just forgot a normal word in a while.
Happens to me every day. Yeah, let's. I'm gonna see. I was gonna move on to this next one, but yeah, I think overall it is the kind of thing where this information is out there now, and most people are just choosing not to engage with it, and they would only really ever care if it was the only thing coming out about the only game they actually like, and so. And even in that case, it's like there was a whole documentary about the making of God of War, and you think a lot of people would watch that, but most people probably haven't. Sure. So it's like this information and find out what it's like to make games is available, and it's just that these people don't care to learn about that, and okay, that's fine, that's their choice. It's just then annoying when they hear about GTA 6 leaks and they go to check it out and they don't understand what they're looking at. Of course, that's frustrating. From Engine 25. Jeffy Grubb, you recently spoke about Microsoft's plans for their 2023 lineup and how next year might turn out to be a first-party banger for Xbox. Do you know what id Software is working on? I'll send you a cookie if you tell me. P.S. Don't tell Mike, but he's my best friend.
Jeff, I'll give you 2 cookies if you tell me it's Quake.
I don't know. I don't know what it is working on. I wish I did, but I don't. And that list of games for 2023, again, people, that's from like a year ago. So I was asked a question. I'm like, yeah, we talked about this a while ago, and here's the list of games I was hearing then. And of course, it just like turned into a fresh new rumor because people are actually terrible at. I
thought everybody was going to stop trusting you anyways. That's what they all said.
I know, God, it's so fucking stupid. So yeah, and that was just. I think most of those games are probably not going to make 2023, and I don't think it's very surprising when you know that games like Everwild were on that list.
You just said that Microsoft delayed all their 2023 games. 2024.
Shout out to the Xbox murders. From Casual, happy Thursday, Jeff, Cha-Cha Slide Grubb, and Mike, who keeps leaving these motherfucker. Okay, I'm sorry, hang on. Mike, who keeps leaving these motherfucking pogs everywhere, Minotti.
Look, I probably done the Cha-Cha a million more times than Jeff did. I used to actually go out like to the the bars and do the dances and stuff. I bet
the Cha-Cha Slide big at clubs?
At bars, yeah, Cha-Cha, real smooth.
Yeah, I've done them at weddings a million times.
Yeah, I know, they actually do those outside of weddings at bars when like the DJ's there and stuff. And the two-step, do you ever do the two-step? The two-step, yeah, fun stuff.
A belated Happy Talk Like a Pirate Day to the Game Messians. Could you give us an update on when you two might stream together again in person? Last time was a fun time.
We should do that soon again.
Yeah, we should do it again. I should probably come out to you, although I got a couple of busy weekends coming up here, busy weeks and stuff like that. So, I don't know, maybe later October.
We kind of talked about we don't even need to be in person, but maybe we want to play Resident Evil 6 together.
Yeah,
that might be fun.
Good. Maybe start doing that in October, and then we'll do a late October get together would probably be fun, and that could be good. We were I went to, I'm not going to remember where it is, but we went to a hot air balloon festival that was near Youngstown this past weekend. And
where was it at?
I can't remember the name of the town. I'd have to look it up.
Look it up now.
Yeah. Let's see. From One Up versus CPU. Spooky season is upon us. Pumpkin face emoji. So I was wondering if you have any ghost stories. Have either of you ever seen, heard, or felt something which made you think that ghosts could be real? Maybe while messing with a Ouija board.
I get mad. Well, actually, there's one, and it's weird. But for some reason, maybe my earliest memory is my only crib memory is being in the crib and feeling a scratch on my back, and then looking over to the wall and seeing the shadow of like a very pointed claw hand. And I wasn't scared. I was like, oh, that's what scratched me, and like went back to sleep as a baby. Again, it's so early, it must have just been a dream or something, but it's weird. I have that memory. Otherwise, I get mad at my friends because too many of them believe in ghosts, and then I'm like, oh, and then they always try to explain why they believe in ghosts, and it's just always things that can be explained as coincidences or, a million other things, and I get mad.
Yeah, I have no stories. I'm exactly the same.
You don't have any stories because ghosts aren't real.
I know. Yes,
And
I know.
I feel like I'm talking to children whenever I have to say this, because I never thought that in my adult life I'd have to tell adults that ghosts aren't real, but I do, and I feel silly having to say it.
And now you know how I feel when I tell people. Never mind, I won't say it. Never mind, I'll just move on. What? No,
yeah.
you're a good Catholic boy. I'm not going to upset you. Let's move on.
Oh no! Wow!
I mean, to me, it's all the same, but fair enough.
Wow! Okay, wow. I mean, Jesus Christ,
hey, listen, ghosts, the Holy Ghost. What can who could say? Who could say? Dr. Sus, hey B&C boys, I had never played a Splatoon game and I'm loving Splatoon 3. I started to look at guides on how to play and beginner strategies, and that's usually my sign that the game clicked for me. What are some signs that a game has clicked for you?
God, signs? I mean, it's just, I'm trying to think, like, aside from just like the stupid dopamine rush, like, oh, I'm liking this. Like something deeper than that. If I take a screenshot, that's usually a good sign. If something like, oh, this is pretty, I'm going to take a screenshot of this. I usually don't take screenshots of games that I don't like, Jeff.
Yeah, if I'm like finding time in my day every day for like a couple days in a row for a game, it's like, okay, yeah. And if I keep telling myself I'm going to go back to it, and then I keep finding excuses not to, it turns out I actually don't like the game very much. Or it's like, I get it, and it's like, I can move on. I already understand what this game is going to be, and it's not going to surprise me much anymore. So I'm going to give myself permission to move on. That's how it usually goes.
Epic Open World's right. If I'm staying up really late to play a game, and like I get mad when I turn it off.
Yeah.
I wish I was playing this more, but it's so late I have to go to bed. That's always the sign there.
From Jump Matt, why can't Sony make PS3 games run on PlayStation 5 when they could be emulated on PC? They can. They just don't want to do the work. They don't want to They don't want to put out a commercial emulator that has to be like that they have to take account for and be like, oh, if it isn't working properly, they have to field support calls or whatever. They were working on something. I guess I haven't been updated in the last couple of months. But they were working on something that we should have been hearing about by the beginning of next year. We'll see if that actually ends up happening. But there was some work happening there, and they like hired someone to oversee that project, and that was public. But we'll see. All right, that does it for the questions from the podcast producers. Thank you everybody for sending those in. A lot of good questions this week. I felt pretty good about all those. Mike, did we get any more super chats?
We got a couple more here. Daniel Bradley says, do you think Square falling back into publishing is a short-term experiment or a new direction? How many copies do these games need to sell? And any insight to if they are hitting? What has Square been publishing outside of their own development houses, Jeff?
I'm trying to think. I don't know.
I know they've been doing something, so clearly I don't know enough about this to say what their targets are. Either way.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's like Square Enix is in such a weird state in terms of like what their expectations are and the games and like their strategy going forward. I mean, what is like? Is it really just games that they don't make in house that they're publishing? Is that the question? Because they are releasing a ton of games this year.
Right, I guess so. Because they're releasing a lot of games, so I guess I don't quite understand either. And it's always so weird to try to guess Square Enix's targets because sometimes games seem to do well, and then by their standards, they don't. Yeah,
because we got Various Day Life hit the Dalefield Chronicle. Man, it's weird that some of these are like, oh, I thought Dalefield Chronicle and Valkyrie Elysium were the same thing. No, those are two different games.
Those are two very different games.
And then there's Valkyrie Profile Lilith coming. God, it looks like the same time.
Oh, was Power Wash Simulator Square Enix?
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yes. Okay. Yes.
Okay. Power Wash Simulator had to sell more copies than anybody thought it was going to when they greenlit it, right? Like, come on. They got to be happy with that. I understand, like, there's a bit of a zeitgeist that maybe has already passed, but come on. That had to do pretty well for a game about power washing.
Yes, I imagine they are probably pretty happy with that. And we'll probably try to emulate more of that going forward, but who knows? It's Square Enix, so we'll see.
Propaganda Panda says, what console would you want to hang out and watch a movie with? And what movie you are not playing the console? I think I want to watch Shrek with the Dreamcast.
What's the question? I was listening this time, and I just don't think I understand.
What console? I'll speak slowly for you, Jeff.
Okay, all right, okay.
What console would you want to hang out and watch a movie with? And what movie you are not playing the console. You're just watching a movie with this console. I said Shrek with the Sega Dreamcast. Now your turn.
I want to watch the Jimmy Neutron movie with the Game Boy Advance SP.
Also makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Actually, I think those movies came out the same year because I think they were both nominated for the first ever Best Animated Feature Oscar. I think it was those two and Monsters, Inc., if I remember. I think Shrek won. Got a good on Shrek.
Sounds right. Man, Shrek won an Oscar. Jesus Christ.
You better believe it, baby.
Yeah. Any other...
Someone told me to be nice, and I'm going to say no.
Yeah, no. Definitely don't be nice. Any other super chats?
That's it for now. I think that's it. If you guys squeeze one more in here before we end, I will read it.
Mike, any games you've been playing this week?
Yeah, I mean, gosh, been playing a lot of things, like, Dreamlight Valley, been doing that Splatooning. I actually just played all 3 of those new Sega games that came out to NSO before we started today. They're good, or from Jim. Like, there is some clunkiness there. I still find it kind of interesting.
I mean, it looks great. It honestly does look great.
Yeah, for Sega Genesis, which is in some ways a pretty limited console, the kind of animation stuff they're doing is good. There is a lot of frustrating things there. They're doing a lot of that, like, showing you a one-up that you can't get to, and it's like, haha, maybe you can get to this if really look around.
I really, truly believe, I don't think this take is actually that hot, that the game design side of all of those shiny Dave Perry games are second to the visuals, and they always were, and they kind of continue to be throughout the existence of that studio. So
I'll buy that more with this than I will with Aladdin, I'll say, but I know what you mean.
I think Aladdin is probably one of their best ones, and there's definitely some fun stuff there. It's just, I could still, some of that stank is still permeates it a little bit for me, and I notice it a little bit.
But the real story here was that Alicia Dragoon.
That looks great.
Great. It was super fun.
Okay, that's awesome.
It's almost hard to explain. Like, you have like this lightning bolt attack. You can shoot it left or right, and it auto aims at whatever on your screen. So your reflexes are just about like turning left and right really fast, and then the kind of platforming that goes along with it. It just has this incredible vibe that I associate so heavily with the Genesis. Like, for some reason, anything that's kind of like dime store fantasy novel vibe,
yes,
or for some reason has like some kind of Aztec or Egyptian vibe to it, like Columns. There's so many games like that just have that Genesis vibe to it. And
the Sega Genesis is a Cheesecake Factory.
Exactly, it's the Cheesecake Factory vibe. You nailed it. It's that, and this game has that in a million spades. It's very responsive. It's fun. It's got some light RPG mechanics. The music is just mwah. I was enjoying Alicia Dragoon a lot. I'm actually excited to play more of it.
I'm excited to hear that. I'm probably going to try that game out. It seems cool.
Apparently, the Japanese box art for it is amazing. I'm going to look that up. But then I played a little bit of Beyond Oasis, which I played before, and it is just like an interesting Zelda style game with really good animation. Not as good gameplay as Zelda, but again, for the Dreamcast, for the Genesis, really nice animation. But I think Alicia Dragoon is the kind of standout amongst these 3 games.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about Alicia Dragoon.
Yeah, so I think you should check that one out too. Apparently, it's really hard, but hey, we have save states now. Who cares?
Right? Yeah, and rewinding. So cool.
Exactly. So yeah, fuck it. Well, this game does have amazing Japanese box art. That's pretty freaking sweet. Yeah, because like the game in the game, it definitely has a bit of like that 80s like anime vibe to it, which I actually do find appealing. And you get that in the Japanese box art. In the US box art, again, it's like dime store fantasy novel cover, which I also find appealing in a different way.
I've been playing Trombone Champ. I've gone back to it a little bit since the UPF where I first started it. It's a lark. It's like really good for the joke, and then it is the mechanics are actually just really solid. It's a good instrumental simulating game where you're just moving the slide, I guess, up and down by moving the mouse up and down, and you just got to line it up, and then you got to tap to breathe through the thing to actually make the note, and it's fun. And then the noise that comes out of it is just so purely comical that you can't help but smile and have a good time. And all of the public domain music that they use in there is so well chosen. Oh Canada, the Star Spangled Banner, all these other ones. Beethoven's Fifth Symphony. It's just really good stuff. And then there's like a freestyle mode, and someone did Seabat, the sex song that's in all those TikToks. Of course, someone did that one. I was trying to do Star Wars and was getting kind of close there at the end of the UPF. It's cool. I have not unlocked any of the other stuff. Apparently, it takes a lot to unlock stuff. I kind of hope they just put an option there just to let me unlock everything so I can play around. I'm probably not going to be able to play it enough to get everything. Although, I do plan to set it up for use with a motion control, because apparently you could just do motion controls, and I'm actually going to do that. I might save that for our in-person event in October that we're planning for Giant Bomb, because it might be like, all right, if we get to a certain threshold or whatever, like let's get someone up and playing that, and that'll be a really good incentive to see someone make a fool of themselves. So, yeah, either way though, it's a good time. And then Hyper Demon. Yeah, give it a try. I think it's a kind of game where you can have a good time with it. It's good for streaming and it's good for parties. So it's kind of got this like trifecta going for it, where it just works in a bunch of different environments. And so it kind of makes it worth the price, even if you're not going to play it a ton by yourself right away. You'll always have reason to have Trombone Champ on your hard drive or whatever. And then Hyper Demon, which is the follow-up to Devil Daggers. And it's a hell of a thing. It looks like such an aggressive mindfuck nightmare. It's hard to explain, but basically there are polygonal demons flying after you. You got to shoot them. Your score starts going down immediately because your score is your time. So you got to kill demons faster than your score is going down. That's really difficult to do because you got to be combining all these different moves that you have, like slide, a butt stomp, picking up power-ups to make your shotgun more powerful or your machine gun more powerful, or holding them and then firing them off as laser beams. Like you have different options to do with the power-ups, whatever. It's super complicated on the mechanics side. But it's also really complicated on that scoring side. Like your time is your score, but your time goes up as you kill more things. So also at a certain point, you can't just keep going. If your score starts going down, if your score gets high, you need to die to lock in your score. And it's such this backwards thing. It's so hard to fully understand how, like, to wrap your mind around that. Because you can play the game and survive, and you'll be doing terribly because your score will go like to -30 or something like that. And it's like, well, that's not even going to count. So it's a strange game that has so much style. The visuals are, these polygonal demons coming at you, and as they come at you and you get different power-ups and different things happen, they trigger different visual effects of them like warping in and out of your plane of existence, and they kind of go this virtual boy red for a while if they wrap around you. And then while that's happening, your field of view is like expanding and collapsing all like dynamically. And then on top of that, like you'll trigger stuff that then puts you in slow motion, and that'll happen while the field of view is bending. And it's just so, like, if you played a Jeff Minter game, you have some idea of what to expect visually here. But it just is like a metal album cover that's been run through. Like if you uploaded it to YouTube and got that compression like 500 times, that's what it feels like. It's messed up in some really cool ways. It's really fun. And my score is like embarrassingly low because I'm still struggling just to get the basics.
Yeah, speaking of metal, I've been playing Metal Hellsinger, which is fun. Everybody's talked about that. You know what? I forgot to mention is that Return to Monkey Island. Been playing that.
Oh yeah. I started that too for a quick look. I really was enjoying what I was playing. I'm like, it's never the kind of game that I am going to like usually choose to play on my own. I might just like make a stream of it though, because I think it would be fun to play with an audience. Yeah,
it's good stuff. If you just want to help with the puzzle. Were you like, I watched the UPF, or the quick look, were you like really thrown off? Because especially the beginning, it's such like a tie-in to the end of Monkey Island 2. Did that really confuse you, or are you kind of able to go with the flow there?
We were able to go with the flow. I think I understand what people mean by that, but it's also, the setup might feel that way. I think for someone that has that knowledge. For me, it just feels like the start of a story where it's like, we are going to start with these kids, and they are going to give us some flavor about where things are going to end up. But then we're going to go back and get this story that kind of gets us to where we're at. And I think I think I will probably get that full arc. And so I was not thrown off at all. I went right with it and was totally getting right into the story.
Cool. Yeah. I've been enjoying a lot. I like Monkey Island. It's still almost surreal me just like playing a new Monkey Island, but it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
I've been having a good time. Hopefully I'll be able to finish it this weekend, have final thoughts and all that jazz.
Yep. All right, Mike. I think that's gonna do it, though. Should we get out of here?
I think we should get out of here. There's no more super chats. I think we're all clear there. Yeah, let's do it. We'll be back on Tuesday with last of the Nintendogs. Who do you have for you joining you on Game S Mornings tomorrow?
That's a good question.
Is it me? It's
Mike Minotti, everybody. Mike Minotti, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, it's me.
I was having guests on Wednesday and Thursday, and I was like kind of getting them prepped all week. And I'm like, let me deal with that first, and then I'll figure out Friday. Well, here we are. We figured out Friday just now.
It's me. It was me. I hope there's something new for us to talk about. Hopefully something will happen.
Jesus, right? Yeah.
We'll figure something out. It'll be great. All right then, we'll do that. Jeff, what else are you doing?
I'm I don't know. I'm gonna be playing Hyrule Hustle tomorrow, whatever that is. I'll be playing
Oh right, I can't wait.
Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild. I'm going to be racing in some way against Jess O'Brien over at Giant Bomb in a nightmare scenario that Dan Reichert is putting together. I have no idea what to expect. That'll be in our UPF slot, so that'll be starting at 4 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow, so tune in for that. I think that we'll also have... I think we'll be playing Sonic 06 in the afternoon after GMM, so... I'll be hanging out with Mike, and then I'll be hanging out with Dan, and I think Jess as we watch him play Sonic 06. And then he'll be filled with rage from playing that and us laughing at him.
There you go.
And he'll take it out on us in Hyrule Hustle. So
there you go.
That's our tomorrow. I'm looking forward to all of it. And then, I don't know, we got the weekend coming up. You got any plans for the weekend, Mike?
Nothing I know about yet. I don't think there's any birthday parties this weekend, knock on wood. I don't know. I think I'm clear to mostly relax this week. I want to go out. I haven't gone out, but I'm gonna go out. Look out, everybody.
I might like put the family to bed and then go see like a late movie. I've not done that ever really, and like they're kind of old enough where I feel like I can probably get away with that. So I go to a movie here pretty soon, as long as I don't get. Oh wait, no.
Isn't Avatar back in the theaters this weekend? I kind of want to see.
That'd be fun. I would totally go see that in the theaters. I might have to do that Sunday though. Saturday I'm busy. I'm traveling, going to Chicago. Bye everybody.
Bye. Wow, Jeff, that was mean of you to say.
I wouldn't. I have no idea. I have no recollection of saying that.
Oh yeah, I heard it.
I hope you die soon.
Wow, you said it again, you jerk.
I can't control myself. Where's it coming from?
I hope you die soon.
Bye, everybody. Enjoy your gaming. I'm sorry. All right. Let's see.
Okay.